All right, good morning, everybody. Monday, April 6th now already. Wow, 3 weeks in. Welcome to my kitchen again. This morning, we are going to make a classic Eggs Benedict, okay? Eggs Benedict, poached eggs, Canadian bacon, English muffin, the most beautiful, rich, lemony, buttery Hollandaise sauce, all right? Exactly what I need to keep warm and add more weight to me because, of course, I'm getting too small. I need to get larger. So we got a number of things already ready to go here. All of our mise en place, meaning everything in its place, has been very carefully put together. And I'm going to show you that here in a second. Over here on the stove, if it can be seen, we have a pot of water ready to go that we're going to be poaching our eggs in. We have butter melted for our Hollandaise sauce. We're going to talk about that in length here in a minute. But the first thing we're going to do is I like potatoes for breakfast. So last week we did a couple of great egg dishes and we did some knife skills. So we're going to use some of those skills and show them off. So we have here some potatoes that I've already you can see them steaming. I par cooked those. We're going to get those down on the flat grill, just kind of all by themselves here for a second. All right. I think we can do a little better here with our camera angle. Then we got some bacon fat. Okay, whenever I'm cooking bacon, I'm saving it. All right, it's delicious. And it's great to cook things in instead of it just being waste. Again, you've already paid for that bacon. You might as well use it. And now you kind of have that delicious, porky, smoky goodness going on in there. Okay, so we're going to take a look at our mise en place, everything that we need. Okay, we even have all of our equipment prepared and so on. We're going to be going downtown here. Okay, we have eggs, 2 eggs to poach, and then 2 eggs for our Hollandaise sauce. An English muffin. Okay, last week we did a video where we made, we went live and we did over easy eggs on an English muffin, and we actually pan fried it in butter. Today we're just going to toast it because the remainder of this dish is very rich and has a lot of fat in it. And it's okay just for a dry toast every now and again. Canadian bacon, basically ham, but made out of the loin or the back strap of the hog as opposed to the leg. Lemon that we're going to need for our sauce, and then some onions that we're going to put in with our potatoes once they've started to brown. Should we add the onions right out of the gate, they're going to burn. We don't want that. Okay. And then we also have some fruit that we're going to get set up later to kind of serve with our meal because we want to make sure that we're staying healthy. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually make the Hollandaise sauce. Okay, potatoes are going over here. Actually, let's go back to the stove real quick. Okay, I'm going to move our pot that we were poaching in so you can see the potatoes just for a second. And we're going to give these a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, not only is the salt going to help season them, salt actually will help draw out the moisture, which is going to brown the potatoes quicker. I love having this flat top grill at home like this. This thing is fantastic. So we're going to let these things sleep on the grill, okay? Let them get nice and brown. Poaching pot back on the stove. Now, when we poach eggs, we don't want to boil them. We actually want a nice gentle heat. But to make our sauce, back up top. See me? Good. To make our Hollandaise sauce, we need to cook our eggs, okay, over a double boiler. But let's backtrack. Hollandaise sauce is one of the 5 mother sauces of cuisine. And the 5 mother sauces of cuisine were basically created as 5 simple staple sauces that can be transformed into a number of things very simply and easily, okay? So they're ultra versatile. The 5 mother sauces are Hollandaise sauce, which is basically just an egg and butter sauce. Espagnole, which is a brown sauce made from either veal bones or beef bones. Bechamel, which is a milk-based creamy sauce. Okay. And then there's velouté, which is made from either poultry or seafood, and it's thickened with roux, which is flour and butter. And then there's tomato sauce. So not tomato sauce in the context you're thinking like marinara or pizza sauce, but a very, very simple, versatile, easy to manipulate tomato sauce. You can turn into a number of things. So those are our 5 sauces, mother sauces of cuisine. We're going to come down here into our bowls. You can see I've separated my egg yolks out, okay? Lemon is essential in Hollandaise sauce, okay? Fresh lemon's always the best, not that jarred, pre-squeezed junk juice, okay? So we're going to get some lemon juice in here, okay? Take out our seeds, get rid of those. We don't want to choke on that. Okay. Just a couple drops of hot sauce. Classically, you'd use a little cayenne pepper. Now, there's a number of different schools of thought with Hollandaise sauce. Drop or 2 of Worcestershire. Some people had a vinegar-based reduction in there many, many years ago. But things adapt in time. And what we're doing is creating this for kind of the modern taste bud. All right, so lemon, egg yolks, a little bit of hot sauce, touch of Worcestershire. We're actually going to add some water here. Break up the eggs a little bit. I'm just going to whisk that together until it's one type of color here. Now, before we even think about going to the stove, we need to make sure everything else we need is set. Now, eggs hold roughly 5 times their weight in fat, okay? So we have 2 egg yolks here, and then we got a stick of butter, okay? All right, and the stick of butter is already melted. All right, now, stick of butter is 4 ounces, and egg yolk's 1 ounce, so that's 2 to 1. That's not enough. So I actually am going to melt down some more butter, because of course I'm going to melt down some more butter. Probably another 1.5 ounces here. While that's going, I'm going to turn my potatoes. Toss those around, see if they're starting to brown up at all. Yep, a little bit. Now, when I part cook these potatoes, I cook them to the stage that we would call fork tender. Basically, you can slide a fork in and out of the flesh of that potato without it getting all mashed up and super soft. So they're not cooked all the way through. They're not good for mashed potatoes, but they're certainly good to be part cooked. Now, we are going to cook these egg yolks over a water bath that we're going to ultimately poach our eggs in. So that pot is serving 2 purposes for us, not only to do our sauce, but then to cook our eggs in after the sauce is done. Hollandaise sauce is what we call, I'll come up top for this, is what we would call an emulsification. An emulsification is basically the suspension of fat molecules and water molecules. So we're taking 2 things that would otherwise not go together and making them bond. All right, and there's challenges with that, and there's a lot of skill and technique that goes into this. So we're really going to take our time. All right, think about you take a cup of water. Okay, we're even going to do this for demonstration purposes right now. I don't even have a cup in there. We'll use this. Okay. See? Water. I'm going to take a touch of oil here, and you're going to see when I dump this oil in here, what's going to happen? Is it going to mix together? Is that oil, see how it immediately separated out from itself? All right? They didn't mix. Because oil and water don't mix unless they have some type of an agent in there that's bonding them together. In this circumstance, the agent that's bringing them together is what we call the lecithin, or the protein in the yolk. Okay, that is the bonding agent that's going to make this all work. All right, but you need to make sure that you're cooking that to really kind of solidify that protein, or otherwise it will not work. We're going to take our butter now and we're going to pour it into this cup for ease when we're adding it into our sauce. Okay. So put that in the sink. Okay. So there, yeah, we have about a half a cup of melted butter. No, I'm not going to eat it all. Well, I might. Who knows? All right, I'll drink it. All right. Now, those ready to go. We need to very gently cook them over the water bath here. Okay. So I'm going to set that bowl right down, and I'm going to start stirring. And I'm not going to stop stirring until this comes off, or otherwise I'll have scrambled egg yolks. If I continue to move these eggs, water mixture, lemon juice, the hot sauce, and the Worcestershire in this bowl, it's going to slowly coagulate or cook those proteins as opposed to scrambling them. All right? And now we have a situation. This is good. That happened. I warned you guys last week that was going to happen, and of course it did. You can see these eggs are starting to kind of get frothy here, which means they're real close. So I'm going to pull them off there, mix them. There's carryover heat here involved. There's a lot of heat coming off here, a lot of energy. So take it off for a second, back on. Now, these eggs are going to start to look almost kind of foamy and fluffy. What we call that is sabayon consistency. It's a French term. All right. See how that now almost looks like a sauce, okay? Because it's getting there. It's exactly what we're making. Those eggs are now cooked enough. Coming downtown. All right. Turn my pot all the way down now. Now, we're going to set a towel underneath this bowl so that bowl doesn't move and shake all around. It will a little bit. So we'll give ourselves an advantage here. Take this towel. Make like a little ring or a little cradle for that bowl to set in. Okay. And now we're going to add this butter in slowly. Okay. If we add it too quickly, our emulsification will not take. Again, that's the bonding of the fat molecules and the water molecules. So I want like just a little bit, almost like drop by drop, until that bond gets created. Okay. So I add a little bit, make sure it kind of all comes together. And I'm going to add a little bit more. Let that come together. If it looks like it's going to start getting thin and watery, you're in trouble. You're either added too much fat all at once or your balance is off. Okay. Let those eggs accept that fat. Potatoes are starting to smell good over there. They're sizzling right away. We're going to turn those in a moment. But once we start this Hollandaise sauce, we can't really stop. So our attention needs to stay with this. Now, it almost has this like mayonnaise-y type consistency to it. All right? Hollandaise sauce and mayonnaise aren't all that different, except for one's served hot and one's served cold. One's made with butter and one's made with oil. Besides, it's basically, you know, fat, egg yolks, water, a little bit of acid. In our case, it's lemon juice. In the mayonnaise instance, you use vinegar. More. Now, I think we're going to need to add a little bit more water to this because it's almost getting too thick. And if it's getting too thick, that's telling me that it's out of whack. It's out of balance. So, not a ton, just like tiny droplets there. You can actually see that, loosen that right up. Now I can add a little bit more butter at a time as this comes along. Because again, we're stabilizing that emulsification, that bond of two things that otherwise would not go together. We are looking good here. Add it in. All right, so Now we have our nice, good, creamy looking Hollandaise sauce. We're going to be done with the whip. We're going to taste this. I got a fork works. Delicious. But we're seriously lacking some salt here. So we're going to just give it a little bit of salt. Okay. Grab a spoon. Unfortunately, I don't have the gigantic box of plastic spoons like we do at school, guys. So, oh, marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. Now, this sauce, if it gets too hot, it'll break in kernels. And it'll literally look like something your infant sibling left in a diaper. And we don't want to go down that road. So we're going to put this in a place kind of over here near the stove where it can stay warm but not get too hot. So, like, we can just set it over here. The residual heat will keep that warm-ish. Now, my egg whites, I'm going to save those. I'm actually going to make a Italian style of cookie later on this week. So we're going to save those. So that means they need to get covered. Okay, and I'm going to put them in my fridge. Okay, we're going to come uptown now. Hey, there he is. All right, so we are closer than we think for this to all come together. I'm going to go line up my English muffin over in my toaster. My Canadian bacon, I'm actually going to get this down on the flat grill and just brown it off, warm it up on both sides. You know, we don't want this, it's already cooked. It's already been smoked, cured, cooked. So we're just warming it up on each side. Our breakfast potatoes here are starting to look pretty good, okay? We're actually going to give these a little more seasoning. All right, we're going to hit it up here with a little onion powder action. This is kind of like American diner style, you know? That's how I like my breakfast potatoes. I go to Grandma's Kitchen down the street, and oh, what a phenomenal breakfast they make. It's always good. You always know what you're going to get. It's hot, quick, delicious. You can't go wrong. So onion powder, garlic powder, paprika. Okay. They're actually looking a little dry, so we're going to hit it up with a touch more bacon fat. I keep it in the cupboard. My mother used to keep it in a coffee pan under the sink. Some onions, we're going to put those down now. The potatoes are brown, so we're good to go to put those on. All right. Get those out of the way. Now, we squeezed all the life out of that lemon. There's not much else in there, but we're going to try and get a little bit in the water. The acid in the water is going to help keep the egg whites from kind of running all over hell when you put them in here. If you've made poached eggs at home, you've kind of seen how you'll pour it in and they just kind of fly all over the place, all right? The acid's going to help keep those tight and coagulate that, all right, which is a good thing, okay? Turn these guys over. We're just warming those through, all right? Actually, got some banana bread action going on in the oven. You're going to see that coming out here shortly, all right? I had some really rank-ass brown bananas going on. Not good to eat with your hands, but woo! Banana bread, banana muffins, turbo, okay? Now, we have a plate. We need to have our plate ready. Remember, don't start cooking anything until you know where your landing zone is. That's like taking an airplane off a runway and not knowing where you're going to land it. Now, we had earlier the fruit that we had out. We're going to give this fruit a little bit of love. Now, berries are fine. We're going to try and get a little bit more of that lemon juice. And we're going to hook these up. I got some sugar here. Just a little domino sugar. Okay. Sweeten those up. Little tiny bit of vanilla. Give those a little love. We're like cackling over here on the stove. All kinds of stuff happening over here. I love it. Okay. So we have our fruit. Toss those in a little bit of that sugar and that lemon juice. We call this macerating. It's almost going to kind of get saucy here in a second. Okay, so set these aside. Keeping it healthy. I say that, and then I dump sugar on them. Why? Because it's delicious. Okay. Potatoes going on over here. All right, our water. This. We're going to drop down the English muffins. Boom. Set there. Actually, now, we're not going to crack our eggs into the pot directly. Why? What if it's bloody? What if the yolk breaks? You don't want to poach an egg with a broken yolk. Kind of the prize is popping it and having that nice, beautiful, soft yolk. Now, when we poach eggs, a lot of people make the mistake of having the water too hot. We want it about 180 degrees. So I'm going to check it with the radar gun here. Okay? Radar gun's telling me that that water is at 178 degrees. That's beautiful. About 180 is great. All right? Gentler, the better. Okay? Actually going to move our Canadian bacons here. We're going to keep them warm, just resting on top of the potatoes up here. Why not, right? It's kind of indirect contact with the heat. I did an extra one because I'm fat. And I like Canadian bacon. I like ham. So I like all pork products. Obviously, look at me here, bacon fat. Made sausage the other day. All right. Got it going on. Okay. So I'm going to crack an egg into my little mise en place container here. Okay. Yep. Drop it out. Okay. Now I'm going to gently dump this right into the water. It's going to take about 5 minutes. Okay, to have that kind of like medium poached egg, if you will. I don't like it snotty on the whites, but I certainly don't like the yolks to be cooked all the way through. I still like them soft, like an over easy and over medium. Okay, same thing. Drop it in. Boom. Okay. We're going to use our slotted fish spatula that we're also turning our potatoes with to pull those eggs out. All right. Potatoes looking good over here. Oh, man. You know, I'm thinking what would be a nice touch with these potatoes. I got some beautiful fresh thyme here. All right. So we're going to take some fresh thyme, pick the leaves off there, and we're going to get those kind of to perfume those potatoes up. Give those a little bit of love. All right. Look for the right piece of thyme. Always, whenever you're selecting your produce, guys, or your food in general, look for the right piece of food. You know, look for what looks freshest, what looks the most alive. You know, for herbs, they should still be firm. They should still appear like they just came out of the ground. All right, going downtown here. All right, so with thyme, we don't ever want to eat the stem. Okay, the stem, you can infuse it in broths and stocks for flavor. But, you know, to eat it, it's just kind of tough. It'll get, like, stuck in between your teeth or the back of your throat, and you could choke on it. All right? So I like to start from the top and then pull the leaves down in the opposite direction. And they just kind of slide right off. There we go. And with thyme leaves, you don't always have to chop them up. It depends on what you're doing with it. You know, in this instance, we're just going to very, very coarsely just kind of not chop it up too fine. I worked for chefs who wanted the stuff to get cut into dust, and then you couldn't even identify what it was anymore. And I don't like that with my food. I want people to be able to know what they're eating. Okay, going to come back to the stove. Hi. Sprinkle those herbs on those potatoes like that. Okay. I'm actually going to take another look here. I thought I had a light. Look at me. Dum-dum doesn't even know how to use his own oven. That's kind of funny. All right. All right, yeah, those are popping up. Okay, those are popping up. Ooh, English muffins, golden brown. We're going to set these over here on the flat grill as well. Keep those warm. And our eggs are very, very close now. Very, very close. So we're going to plate this up here in a few minutes. Take a look here at our fruit. You can see those are almost kind of getting saucier. All right, what else is something we could have here? What else we got? Oh, oranges. All right, while we're doing this, I'm going to show you guys how we can peel an orange. So we'll have some orange slices with this. Okay. This isn't soccer practice, all right? We're not cutting this thing into wedges and jamming it into our mouths like a face guard, you know? At least that's what guys used to do when I was a kid, okay? We're going to cut the top and the bottom off. Get rid of that. Now watch as I peel this in my hand. Really sharp knife. And I'm going to go around. I'm going to take this whole peel off in one piece, okay? I'm going to follow that pith line, and I'm not going to dig into the flesh. So I'm just carving where that white line is, and what I'm removing underneath here is literally just the peel and the pith, okay? One big, long, continuous piece. I watch those shows like Top Chef and whatnot, and they have these quick fire challenges, and they have to peel an orange. It's embarrassing how long it takes them. All right? If you look on that, all you see is white, very little flesh, so almost no waste. Get rid of that. All right, we can take this and just cut them into slices. Okay, we'll set that over here on our plate. Ready to go. We're going to check our eggs, so we're going to come back up here to the stove. Now, having a gentle touch, super big with this guy, super big. All right, now I'm going to take my spatula very gently, slide it underneath that egg. I can kind of touch it. It should be soft on the yolk, but almost bounce back a little bit. And those are basically there. So I think we're ready to go here, guys. All right? So we're going to plate it up. I'm going to put the camera down on the board where the plate is, and I'm going to bring things over in unison. Okay. We have our oranges down. All right? Don't those look pretty? All right. English muffins, down. Nice and toasty. We don't need any butter with these because, again, like I said, they're so rich. There's so much fat in there. Okay? Set down our Canadian bacon. Look at that. Golden brown, caramelized. It's glistening. It's shiny. Okay? I work for a chef who always said, make sure your food shines. Okay? Shiny food shows food made with skill and technique and fundamentals. Okay? We have these beautiful breakfast potatoes. Look at those. Oh, man. Chef's going to be eating good for breakfast today. Got to make the most out of the situation here, guys. Okay? Got to make the most out of it. A few more. That looks like an appropriate amount. Now, rest assured, there's more potatoes on that flat grill, and I can guarantee you I'm going to eat them. But it'd look ugly if I pile them all up real, in a kind of ugly fashion for this purpose. Okay, now our eggs coming out. Oh, look at that, beautiful. I'm gonna blot them down on this towel so it's not like soggy and wet. Okay, see how I touch that? Kind of soft. I'm gonna rest that down. Blot down. Okay. Our Hollandaise sauce is still nice and warm. We're going to take our fruit here as well. Maybe a little Just kind of spoon it on top here, keeping it bright, keeping it fresh. Okay. Hollandaise sauce. Okay. It's nice and thick. It's going to go right on top. Booyah. All right, I told you guys we checked the banana breads in case you didn't believe me. Look at those. Bang! They're not done yet. They got 20 more minutes probably. All right. So, eggs Benedict with some wonderful fresh fruit, oranges, berries. Okay, breakfast potatoes, diner style. All right. Coming up top. Thanks, guys. We're going to be posting this video, and there's going to be some questions for you to respond to. See how well you're paying attention. This is going to be a legitimate assignment. All right. I hope everyone is doing good and making the most of the situation here. And I hope you guys are eating well. I hope you're reaching out to your friends. I hope you're reaching out to your family. And like we've been saying the last couple of weeks, I want you to just keep cooking good. Rock and roll.